Hi guys, it's Sahara. How are you doing? It is October. Happy spooky month. If you guys have Halloween plans, please let me know because honestly, Halloween is one of my favorite holidays and I just love anything pumpkin spice and fall. Trader Joe's is absolutely putting me in a chokehold right now, so yeah, can you believe it? Today I am back with another amateur analysis, but instead of an anime, this time I would like to talk about a video game. So we're calling it amateur arcade analysis because I needed another word that started with A. So today we're talking about Honkai Star Rail, which is a game that I've been playing for the past year, honestly since day one, and it's probably one of the best, if not one of like my top 3 favorite RPGs. For those of you that don't know, Honkai Star Rail is a game from Hoyoverse, which is the same company that made Genshin Impact, ZZZ, Honkai Impact Third, all of those games. It is an RPG turn-based that revolves around the Astral Express, which is a group of people that travel throughout the different cosmos and kind of just explore different planets. There's a lot more that goes into it, and we will go into that in depth, but just as a general overview. Before I start talking in depth, I want to let you know that this will contain some spoilers going up to 2.5, which is the most recent patch. So if you are not interested in hearing about spoilers, or if you just don't really know much about the game and prefer to play it on your own, then by all means, please go play it and come back whenever you're ready. But for those that are willing to continue forward, I am excited to share my thoughts and opinions on Honkai Star Rail. We start off by choosing our main character, who is also known as the Trailblazer. You can either choose the male, which is named Kalis, or the female, which is named Stell. But you can honestly just name them whatever, that's your username, that's the character they call you. And one of my favorite things compared to Genshin Impact, even though I haven't played the game, is that the Traveler in Genshin Impact does not speak, whereas the Trailblazer in Honkai Star Rail actually has a lot of voice lines. And they actually do have like a pretty substantial personality in comparison to what I know about the Trailblazer, what people have told me. I'm not trying to get under fire. I know nothing about Genshin Impact except for some of the characters. So please, please, don't come for me. But whoever you choose as a Trailblazer ends up waking up after a series of events and doesn't really remember much about themselves except for their name. And they meet the crew members of the Astral Express on the Herta space station, and these people include Don Hung, March 7th, and later Welts and Himiko. And at the end of this first tutorial, you choose to go on the Astral Express and explore the cosmos with them. One of my favorite things about Honkai Star Rail is honestly the world building. There are so many interesting places to explore and kind of get the feel for. So far we've been to 4 nations, 4 different worlds, explorable worlds. That includes the Herta space station, we have the Xianzhou Lofu, we have Urello V6 or Belobog, and then we have Penacony. So far, we have gone back to only one of these in the main story, and that is the Xianzhou Lofu, which is the most recent arc. But I would say my favorite arc is Penacony, not only for its characters, but for its plot, which leans a little bit on the darker side, which is more up my alley. I am honestly not the fan of everyone only experiences happy moments. There has to be some form of angst, some form of like creepy or spookiness to it, and then I'm hooked. So I really appreciate Penacony for having that in comparison to some of the other worlds which were very interesting, but I would not say they had that element to it that Penacony did. Seeing people that we consider to be main characters kind of dying in Penacony was something that was unexpected in a way, because Hoyoverse sometimes doesn't really do that, in my opinion. They don't really kill off main characters in the way that they did here in that arc. So honestly, I really appreciate that. And it was honestly just such a great world. I hope we go back in the future. And I did hear that we might go back in the next update, so that's fantastic. I'm already ready. And as of me editing, they are going back to Penacony. Another aspect I really enjoy about Honkai Star Rail is the turn-based system. I'm a huge fan of games like Persona 5, which also, has that turn-based. So kind of leaning into that strategically planning which characters work best in what team is something that I really enjoy. Building characters is definitely challenging sometimes to get what you want in their stats, but it's honestly extremely rewarding when you end up getting what you want. Going into building characters and teams a little bit more, each character has a specific, I call it like path, and that path is something that kind of dictates how they attack and what role they have in the team. So for example, we have the abundance, which is basically the healers. They heal. Sometimes some of them offer debuffs or buffs. It really depends on the character's kit. We also have nihility, which add like debuffs, which weaken their enemies. And we also have those that add buffs to the team, so it makes them stronger. We also have preservation, which are known for shields, destruction, which are known for damage, the hunt, single damage, your addition, multi-damage, and etc. Going off of that, we have different elements that are used to break weaknesses, and once you break the weakness, they become easier to defeat in a way. So we have things like fire, ice, electro, wind, physical, imaginary, quantum. I forgot if I'm missing one, so I'm pretty sure that's all of them. But these elements help to reduce toughness level and weakness break. And something really cool that they've added recently was the super break, which is something that you can achieve with the Harmony Trailblazer, which I forgot to mention this earlier, but there are a few characters that have different paths. So for example, the Trailblazer, which is a 5-star. So far, we have an imaginary harmony, a fire destruction, and then a fire preservation, and then a physical destruction. We also have March 7th, who is a 4-star. She has an ice preservation, and then also an imaginary the hunt. Now, something that slightly deviates from that is Dan Heng, who ends up having a different form called Dan Heng IL. So while Dan Heng as itself is a 4-star The Hunt Wind character, Dan Heng IL is a 5-star. Oh my gosh, what is it? Is he Destruction? I'm pretty sure he's Destruction imaginary character. So we have a difference in rarity there. And when I say rarity, we definitely have a gacha system here. We have the 4-star, limited 10 pulls, you get a 4-star in 5 stars banners. We also have a rotating light cone, which is kind of similar to the weapons in Genshin Impact. They kind of add a specific buff to a character, especially the limited ones. They are more tailored towards them. We also have other standard light cones, and then we also have a standard banner, which is where the standard 5 stars are. So for those that know Genshin, it's pretty similar to that. It's a 160 stellar jades for 1 pull, and then 10 of those is a standard 10 pull. There are also things like relics, which also help to buff up your character, and if you get 2 or 4 of a certain set, the most is 4, then you end up getting more buffs added to that. And we also have the planar, which if you get 2 of those, 2 in a set, you get more advantages. So there are tons of ways to build your character, make them the strongest you can be. Traces is where you kind of level up how powerful your attacks are. So we have a skill, a technique, and ultimate, which makes sure that when you're in battle, you're going to increase your chances of this character becoming stronger, defeating enemies, so on and so forth. And that's really important because we have a lot of modes within Honkai Star Rail where you have the task of completing either multiple levels with certain enemies or getting rid of enemies as soon as possible. So some examples of that are Pure Fiction, where you get rid of as many characters enemies as you can within 4 rounds, and there are 2 sets of that. Memories of Chaos, kind of same thing, but 30 rounds. And then last but not least, Apocalyptic Shadow, which is just really difficult bosses. But something I really like about Honkai Star Rail is that you don't need to be obsessed with building your characters. You can honestly just explore the world and take it easy. For those that want to invest that time into building your characters, you most definitely can. But you don't need to. It's all up for choice, and Honkai gives you that choice. Now, if you complete the challenges I've mentioned before, you do get Stellar J's, which in turn gives you more pulls. But again, you don't need to do that. It's not up to you. But I do admit that some of these gacha characters are absolutely great. And for me, as a 2D man lover, a 2D man truly does hate to see me coming. I really do like the 2D men in this game. One of my favorite characters is Boot Hill, and not just for his amazing character design and the whole cowboy Wild West theme that he has going on, but I really like his ability of him being a mysterious galaxy ranger. He just shows up out of nowhere, he kind of disappears out of nowhere. Also, same for Argenty. He's just this knight of beauty that has this showering of roses wherever he goes, and honestly, just the mysterious aspect of both of them kind of makes them complement each other pretty well. So, honestly, 2 of my favorite characters. Also love Adventurine. For those of you that have played Penacony, you know what I'm talking about. Honestly, kind of the star of the show. Hey guys, Sahara here. I completely forgot to mention one of my other favorite characters, which is Dr. Ratio, the man with, I believe it's 8 PhDs, so aspire to be that man, be in school for the rest of my life. Also saved up like 60 pulls for him, just for him to be free. Thanks, Honkai. Besides that, though, we also have some badass women. We have Acheron, we have Fei Xiao, the general. There's just so many characters within this game, and most of them are pretty personable. I would say that there are a few of them. For example, Yenching, I just kind of view him as this annoying little kid that kept getting beat up. Although recently he did redeem himself, he's still not someone I necessarily care about. This might be a hot take, but also Yunli kind of, I just don't care. She gives off bratty child energy that I'm just not into. So for those of you that are new to Honkai Star Rail or just want some more tips to kind of improve themselves in the game, I would recommend you to, for one, build your character, but also explore the world. There are a ton of events that come around and are limited, and there are also events that stick around for the entire time. They don't leave, and you can complete them at any time. And doing these events allows you to get a feel for the world and also get to know some of the NPCs. There are a lot of great NPC stories within Honkai Star Rail. A few of them are pretty sad. A few of them make you think like, what the hell is this? Honkai Star Rail is one of those games that's definitely like meme worthy. They know what's going on in current events. They know what the trends are on TikTok, and it's kind of funny to see. But I would say that doing these events really not only gets you pulls in the future, but it really gives you the feel for how long they took to develop this game and the effort it took to make sure everything is going in the story well in the story. I can't talk. I'm so sorry. As Honkai Star Rail ends up moving towards version 3.0, which will be a new world, I'm excited to see what it has in store. I hope I didn't bore you. I feel like I did a lot of stuff about just random Honkai Star Rail facts, but honestly, it has one of the best character developments, some of the best characters I've seen, some of the best world building moments that I've seen, and I'm just honestly so excited to see where it goes next. I'm honestly not a huge Hoyoverse player. I've only really played at least a little bit of Genshin Impact before, but I didn't get very far. So Honkai Star Rail is really the only Hoyoverse game that I keep up with, and dare I say, one of the best Hoyoverse games that has been released with my limited knowledge on the others. So with that, I would like to end this video. Thank you so much for watching. In the comments, please let me know what your favorite universe, world, character, honestly anything about Honkai Star Rail, leave in the comments and I would love to see the discussion that happens. So hopefully I will come up with more videos soon. I am in grad school, but I have been honestly managing it better than I thought. So I have time to sit down and record these videos and edit them for you. So let me know what you would like for me, like for me to talk about in the future. And with that, I will let you go. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, and night, and see you soon. Bye.